Commentaries are one of the most popular resources for biblical studies in the world, right? Whether you are doing daily devotionals or an in depth study for preaching or teaching, a commentary is a tremendously real and awesome resource to have in your library. Today, we want to look at two types of commentaries and see which one might be the best for you in your scenario. Coming up. What's up, everyone? I am Reynaldo Ramos with Vine Media, and we love to help people get connected to the vine that is Jesus. And we do that by providing these weekly videos on topics or resources like this one here today. And if you find any value in what we do, we would love for you to hit that subscribe button, that notification bell, and help us grow in our endeavor. Now let's jump straight to it. Today, we want to look at two different types of Bible commentaries. The first is a singular volume, and this is an example of that. This is the Bible background commentary on the New Testament. So this whole book covers the New Testament from Matthew to Revelation. There are some like this that cover just the Old Testament, and then there are some like this that cover the entirety of the canon, the Christian canon, from Old to New Testament. One volume, and it kind of goes verse by verse or chunk by chunk. Then there is a multi-volume commentary. This is an example of that. This book is a commentary on just the first book to the church at Corinth. So 1 Corinthians, this book right here. And so for comparison, you can look to see how thick they are. They're almost the same thickness, but this one is dealing with the whole New Testament, and this one is dealing with just one book in the New Testament. And so there you see the difference. I want to show you really quick what it looks like inside so you can see and experience that, and then you can decide what might be best for you. So let's look at this one as we start. So here we have, I open up to Romans 8, 18 to 27. Here you see this chunk of scripture that it's dealing with. And there you see verse 18 and then verse 19. And then it jumps a couple of paragraphs, maybe one or two paragraphs. It gives you that. Here we got 8:28 to 30. Again, a sentence or two or a paragraph here and there on the specific verse that it is dealing with. And so you're going to get some historical context, maybe some commentary or background, but it's going to be pretty quick because it's dealing with so much. Now, let me show you for comparison and contrast what's inside this bad boy. So, as we open this up, here we have 1 Corinthians 10, 14 to 22. So it gives you here the title, the prohibition and its basis. And then those are the verses that we're dealing with in this section. And then it gives you sort of like an intro of this section. And then we turn the page, and then you have verse 15. It gives you a paragraph or so, some references in the bottom of Greek language. Then you jump to verse 16, and here's where it gets crazy. There's a paragraph. Then you have another page dealing with some Greek words, some background information. Then another page dealing with still with verse 16. We're still on verse 16. And then you go another page, and we're still on verse 16. Here's when we get to verse 17. So there you have about 3.5 pages of content. 3.5 pages dealing with just one verse. And so it's going to give you historical background. It's going to give you contextual background. It's going to give you background on, for instance, for this particular one, the church in Corinth, or the author, or their relationship with one another. Language background, a specific word in the Greek or in the Hebrew, and it's going to break that down a little bit more. And so you can see how this and this compare, and why this one is just as thick as this one, even though this is dealing with a lot more. This is getting a lot deeper. And so that's basically what it comes down to. This is giving you an overview, a bird's eye view. This is going deep into every single verse multiple paragraphs on every verse, sometimes multiple pages on every single verse, breaking it down a lot deeper and a lot more. I personally love the multi-volume commentaries. Now, that doesn't mean I don't use these. I absolutely use the single volume commentary, but if I'm doing a preaching or preparing for a teaching, the multi-volume commentaries just give me so much more. And so if you have the resources, because they're not cheap, because it kind of adds up because you got to buy more books. If you have the resources, I would definitely say grab yourself a multi-volume commentary. This series right here, the New International Commentary on the New Testament and on the Old Testament, this series is awesome. Multiple biblical scholars, a team that puts a lot of work, and this series is probably my favorite. It's definitely up there, and so. But if you don't, a single volume commentary is fine to start with. But I think as you grow and as you get deeper into it, having a multi-volume series is definitely worth it, and it'll take your studying up a notch. I guarantee you of that. Well, I pray that you keep the main thing, search for Jesus, study scripture, and stay connected to the vine. Always that is Jesus, and we will see you next time.